Welcome everybody to USA International Speedway on Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. I'm joined tonight by Dave Wright. Dave, how are we doing tonight?
Doing well, Josh. Really excited for the iOS ARCA Pro round of 8. It's going to be some exciting action tonight.
That's for sure. As last week was our elimination, we've knocked 4 drivers out of the playoffs. Let's take a look at those point standings as they run. Isaiah Gill currently in the lead. He tied with Brian Newty actually with 2,002 points each. Then Dylan Dunford, Brian Merle Jr., everyone on back with 2,000 points. Todd Mays, Brandon Richardson, Brett Merle, and Brandon White all eliminated from the playoffs last week. So we're looking for someone in this top 8 here to possibly win and move on, or we might even see someone outside that top 8 take away one of those positions.
Absolutely. 100 laps at USA International. Only one extra set of tires behind the wall, Josh, as we always do with the ARCA Pro Series. So as we see each week, pit strategy will come into major play. We know Isaiah, as he's won a couple of the races in the playoffs. He talked last week about his short track dominance, and we'll see how that lasts tonight as we roll into the round of 8.
Yeah, we'll take a look at USA International Speedway. Very Martinsville-esque shaped, but a little bit more banking and a little bit rounder corners here. Tonight, weather is not going to play too much of a factor. 74 degrees, track temperature 77 as we see Brian Newty spin it here off of turn number 4. As I say, the track won't be a problem. We're already starting to see people have some issues out there tonight. So slick track, but it will be a fun one tonight. A lot of room for racing in these wide corners here.
Yeah, most of the action we've seen in practice has been out of corner exit for the most part, both out of 2 and coming out of 4. As we know from watching this season, the ARCA cars are extremely loose off and a lot of horsepower. So it's going to be a real wheelman show as we see usually in the short tracks. Again, really exciting stuff and looking forward to it tonight.
And a lot of names I'm used to calling on Tuesday nights here in different numbers. It's unusual to see Mr. Colin Willems here in the 100 machine, but I'm going to have to get used to that tonight. And don't forget, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe here on Intensity Broadcasting, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. We see you guys watching out there. I've got the chat up. Don't be afraid to interact with us. Let us know who you're pulling for tonight. As we're wrapping up practice right now, Brian Newty is your fastest in practice. But it's just practice. We're talking about practice.
Practice?
Kyle Mays right there behind as well. Oh, we see the 11 of Brett Merle go around there off a corner exit, as you were mentioning. But yeah, Kyle Mays currently second in speed right now, as our third place in speed goes sliding right across the start-finish line. That's Dylan Dunford.
And Dylan's been fast all season long, even through the playoffs, had quite a few good runs, started the playoffs, as you know, as the leader in the ARCA Series points. So we'll see how that translates tonight. Definitely still within the run for a championship, no doubt about that.
As practice is coming to a close, we're going to get ready for qualifying here at USA International Speedway. Let's see who the first car out on track is tonight. It looks like wasting no time getting on pit road is the 94 of Dylan Dunford.
Yeah, I believe Chaput was the other one, and Brett Merle all looking to head out early.
We got Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence out there as well, so
see what those guys lay down. As we see the stands there, Josh, a full sellout I'm hearing at USA International.
Oh, Dunford around on the backstretch.
As we say that.
Yes, sellout shout. See Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in that McDonald's-esque car. Cheeseburger on the side. I like the look. Comes across the line on his first lap here and takes the green flag. Oh, he loses it here on corner entry. So it seems like everybody's having a little bit of issues here tonight. Take a look at Derek Chaput here. Coming off of turn number 4, crossed the line for his second lap. And he's currently in the 3rd position.
Top of the board is Brett Merle with a 21.609 or 630, excuse me.
Yep.
So pretty fast there.
Atlee Atman Weiss coming off of turn number 4, cross the stripe. And he's going to move himself up to 3rd place currently. So good qualifying attempt for the Atman there.
Very good.
It sounds like he's still on it. I don't know if he's got one more lap in him or if he's just running some practice here. Great line too, right? Along that white yellow line on the bottom there. And yeah, that lap isn't going to count. That was just a little bit of fun out there. Let's see, Zachary Cox in the 51. So you see that 51 machine about 3 feet higher than we just saw Atman on the bottom there. See if that works out to his advantage as he crosses the line for his first lap up to 3rd. See, rockets down the backstretch here. And into turn number 3. Oh, runs way up the track here through turns 3 and 4. And as he crosses the stripe, he loses it, catches the wall, and looks like he's going to currently have to sit with his lap of a 2180. Quite a few left to qualify as we got 17 cars to make qualifying attempts right now, and only 8 have gone out and set a time. Let's see, Brandon White taking the track now in the 019 machine. Brandon, over the weekend, won his Legend Car feature. So it's nice to
awesome.
Nice to see our iOS drivers doing some real-world racing here and having some success. I do know, unfortunately, Colton Kinsey also had some issues in his machine this weekend. Hopefully he can get that thing fixed up and get back out there. Brandon White puts himself 2nd on the board right now. You see that 019 hugging right down on that yellow line. Comes off the corner. Oh, gets a little loose. Just drives it straight down the track and move him up into 2nd position as he hits that fence hard in turn 1. See who else is on track right now. The 5 of Bobby Mays.
Yeah, we seen Kyle already lay down his qualifying lap with a 21.6.88. Bobby with a 6.90, and it doesn't look like he's going to. Actually, he does. Excuse me.
Bobby Mays up to the top of the board, knocking Brett Merle off with a 21.61. Cheeseburger out there still running laps. We know neither one of his laps were going to count in qualifying, so he's just out there turning some laps here. Trying to get it.
A couple of front runners, Josh, sorry for cutting you off, still set to qualify. Dylan Dumford, Brian Nudie, and Isaiah yet to hit the track. So
see the 20 of Nick Ford rolling out on track in the Dogecoin car.
Nick might have missed that boat on the Doge. We'll see if it's making a comeback.
Nick recently purchased a late model. He's doing pretty good with his late model adventure here. So good for him, getting some real world experience as well. It's nice to see our iOS drivers with the real world experience. See Nick really overdriving the corners there. See if he can improve here on his 2nd lap and get that thing right down on that yellow line through the corner. He's going to start off being in 8th position. Yeah, he looks like he's liking that higher line there through the corner. little unconventional there as he pushes hard off. Oh, no, he's going to catch the wall off of turn number 4, and that's going to disallow his time. So his fastest lap will be a 21.97. See, Sylvan Seguin out on track right now, the 66 machine. Great looking paint job. I love the teeth on the front and the fangs. Oh, hooks that apron a little too much there. Hangs on to it though, so. And Dave, that was my first ARCA race that we saw at Watkins Glen this past weekend, and that was a lot of fun out there. You and the boys.
Yeah, they put on a show. Seen some action down in 11 or turn 7. A lot of good passing down there. So really enjoyed those seats for that race for sure.
Well, your fastest in practice, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Nudie, out on track right now. And that's a good looking line right there, right down on that yellow line, ripping the apron, trying to get as close as he can. He's going to jump right up to the top of the board by almost a whole 10th. Let's see if he can improve on his time here. He comes off of turn number 4 and across the stripe. He does improve his time, runs a 21.48.
Yeah, that's just obviously blazing fast. We know there's a little bit even more speed out there as himself, Kyle, and Dylan Numford all dropping faster laps during practice. Isaiah not even dropping a practice lap, so we'll see what he has in store for us in qualifying as he's hitting the track right now.
There's Isaiah Gill in that 2 machine. Oh, he's going to lose it. Back it hard into the wall, and looks like he's going to try to reset and get back out there and try it again. Or not. It looks like he might just hang out there. As I see in the chat, Colin Willem says the 40 car has been called to the trailer for inspection. I think you want to tear that thing down completely. See if you can get it rebuilt before the green flag drops.
Yeah, he may be on that Chase Elliott scheme, getting pushed to the back every other race.
So as Isaiah Gills hangs out on pit road, doesn't look like he's going to get back out there to run a qualifying time. So we'll take this opportunity. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as we got some more action for you. We're going to have the SESRA Dirt Late Models just before the iOS Cup Series, excuse me. You'll have the SESRA Dirt Late Models at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by the iOS Cup Series as they start their round of 8. And I believe they're at Talladega tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That is correct, Josh. Yeah, some super speedway action, which will be always thrilling, especially in the Cup cars and with that group of drivers. So some exciting action tomorrow for sure.
That's for sure, especially Stephen Black in that. We know how much he loves those Cup cars and that package that they run there. He loves every package in the Cup cars. So it'll be great to see him out there in the Cup Series as well. As we're going to take a look at our starting grid. And on pole tonight, we're going to see the 40 of Brian Nudie. Outside of him is going to be the 5 machine of Bobby Mays. Second row, Brett Merle in the 11, rolling off third with Brandon White to his outside in the 4th spot.
In the third row, Kyle Mays in the 55 machine, another playoff driver, and Brandon Richardson in the 29 machine rolling off 6. As we roll back to the 4th row, it is Zach Cox in the 51 and Tony Richardson in the 18.
Yeah, Nick Ford's going to be rolling off from the 9th spot in the 20 machine with Atman Ruiz cracking the top 10 in qualifying. Then Derek Chaput in the 37 and Brian Merle Jr. rounding out row number 6.
Sylvan Seguin rounding out the 13th spot outside of Mark Shavers in the 14th spot. And then as we roll out the rest of the field, it's going to be Isaiah Gill, Dylan Dumfer, Cheeseburger Lawrence, and Michael Provo bringing up the rear.
So we're getting ready to get these guys rolling here to start the round of 8 here at USA International Speedway. Also see Maria Madsen saying, Merle Brothers, they are due for a good night. We'll have to see as Brett is going to be rolling off 3rd. And Junior is going to be rolling off in 12th. So we'll have to see if Junior can roll through the field and get himself up to the front here.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the Merle to watch, I would think, as the one playoff driver from the family representing. So we'll see how that works out. Junior Nation is definitely in attendance.
And Junior Nation, it looks like Brett Merle and Brandon White both missed the start here, along with Colin Willems. So I believe Colin's running race control tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, he usually runs race control for the ARCA Series.
So he must have just been out on there running some laps just because. But yeah, I see both Brett Merle and Brandon White both not making the grid here. So then Matt Bissett says, good luck 11 and 74. Rooting on Brett Merle Jr. and Brian Merle Jr. Sorry, Brett Merle and Brian Merle Jr. You know, you figure after
two different fathers, Josh, right?
Yeah, it must be. You know, after 4 seasons of the iOS series, you figure I'd know these guys' names by now, you know?
I hear you.
So we're going to go one more pace lap here before we get rolling here.
Here over the mics, those guys are having some technical difficulties with their rigs, so.
Gotcha. I see.
Okay.
Yep, just saw Brandon White end pit road, so he might be hoping for an early caution here.
Which I'm sure that he'll find, Josh. As we know, ARCA has been prone to that as we get to the start here. We'll see how many we get in before the first caution, but short track action, we've seen a lot of corner exit and entry slip ups, so here we go.
Here we go. We got them re-racked, restacked, getting ready to fire here at USA International Speedway. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn as Brian Nudie leads them to the starting line. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing here in the round of 8 in the ARCA Series. And a great jump for both Bobby Mays and Brian Nudie as they're both side by side through turns 1 and 2. But it looks like Nudie's going to get the jump here and the advantage coming off of turn number 2 down on that bottom lane.
Yeah, really a great jump by Bobby and really racing him down through the first lap. Nudie's going to beat him to the line to lead the first lap, but a competitive line there, and it looks like the low line is the line to beat early as the first caution waves.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 of Mark Shavers and the 18 of Rowdy Richardson both get together there, and that's going to bring up our first. Oh, I got the wrong wreckage rewind up there. Let's get the right one up there. Our first wreckage rewind of the night is take a look at Atlee avoiding some action there at Langley Speedway. Let's see if we can see what happened here between Shavers and Richardson. We'll take the wide angle here. And they are 3 wide in the back coming off of turn number 4. And almost 4 wide as Sylvan Seguin there was almost in that as well. And it looks like just the Ford didn't realize he wasn't clear. Shavers just comes up a little bit up into the side of Richardson, and Richardson just pushes him down the front stretch. Doesn't look like too much damage to either vehicle, though, so they should be able to continue on without too many problems.
Agreed, and a lot of playoff drivers around that action and were able to skate away unscathed, so that's really awesome for both Isaiah, Dumford, and I think there was one other one there, the Pro Vault as well, skated by, so that's excellent. Good to see that those guys not getting caught up in some of the unfortunate 3 wide action early.
And Isaiah Gill down on pit road.
Yeah, Isaiah maybe going for the splash and go here, maybe thinking it's going to be a fuel mileage race, and him obviously starting in the back, not much to lose going to top off.
Well, actually, his pit stop was 13 and a half seconds, so I believe he may have taken some tires there.
With only one set, Josh, that's either an accident or he had some damage that we didn't see and had to get fixed. Let's hope that he did not set himself up with a tire change on lap 3 and his only set, because that could be devastating here.
Yeah, lights on the pace car are still on. I just want to take a look at Isaiah Gill in the pits here, just because I want to see personally if he did take tires here. And we see him come to a stop, and yeah, left side's going up on that vehicle, so he's already got a new set of left sides on that car. Saving the right sides, though, so.
Absolutely bizarre.
It's Isaiah Gill, what can we say?
It is true. It is true.
Isaiah back on pit road.
To take the right side.
No car does not go up in the air, so. Interesting strategy call from Isaiah Gill here.
Yeah, Josh, I gotta think there's some sort of damage there, maybe, and then left one of them checked. I'm not sure. But he'll have more gas than everybody else, that's for sure.
Well, it looks like the lights are going to be off on the pace car this time by, so we're going to re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire here at USA International Speedway. Brian Nudie, your leader, decides to take the inside lane on the restart, leaving Bobby Mays on the outside and Kyle Mays right behind him. So he's
We'll
going
see
to...
how Bobby does with this now, with no green lights, obviously, right? It starts going to be on Nudie, so we'll see if he can get as good of jump.
How about Michael Provolt, already up 8 spots into the 11th position, so there's a car on the move we should be watching for. As the pace car gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Brian Nudie is going to lead him down to the restart zone. Green flags in the air. Nudie gets a great jump. Zachary Cox spun his tires there on the start. He's going to allow Brandon Richardson to get right around him here as they're fighting side by side through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Nick Ford, also looking down to the bottom side, looking to make it 3 wide going into turn number 3. Wisely backs out of it going into turn 3. So they're still side by side. Oh, Richardson catches the apron a little bit, gets a little loose. That allows Nick Ford to drive right on by. Oh, we got one around. Sylvan Segoyan around. We caught that one live as him and Michael Provolt had some issues there. And that's going to bring out our second caution of the night.
I want to say they went 3 wide for a couple turns, Josh. I was seeing that in the background of the shot before. And I'm pretty sure they had already went through a couple turns 3 wide there.
Well, they were side by side when this happened. Let's take a look at the replay here and see if we can. It looks like Cheeseburger might have been down on the apron, as it looks like, yeah, him and Segoyan bound side by side. Yeah, Cheeseburger just catches the apron there through turns 3 and 4. Well, but that's not the cause of the accident here, as Provolt gets down into the corner. Yeah, Segoyan has already lost it, trying to make it 3 wide. Looks like he locked up the brakes going into the corner. Just came down.
And gonna skate around too, which is good.
Yeah, let's rewind this a little bit and see if we can get a little different view of this one. We see Sylvan Segoyan getting into the corner. Oh, it looks like he hit the brakes to avoid running into the back of Atlee Manwees and just was sideways, came down the track into the side of that Fortuna iron machine of Michael Provolt and gets spun around. Brandon White getting a little bit of damage in that one as well.
That's the same thing I saw. Josh was him locking it up. This is Joe. I'm back, baby. Woo!
Whoa, we got Joe Wright in the booth now. We're going to have a little three-way announcement now. Joe, it's good to have you here. And, yeah, I figured I'm already invested in this. I'm going to join you guys tonight for a little ARCA action.
Hey, sounds good.
Josh has the playoff itch, Joe.
He's got the itch, huh?
Yeah, you know, I gotta figure out what to do for Wednesday night and Thursday night, as I'm in the playoffs in both the Truck Series and the Pelican Series, so I gotta see how this playoff action works.
I'm gonna have to finally get back to racing this week. Get in there and help you out a little bit where I can.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, it's been an exciting season in the Truck Series. I've enjoyed it this season. Actually getting the race instead of just call races, so it's exciting.
Holy, Nick Ford is here.
Yeah, we got Nick Ford sighting tonight in the 20 machine in the Dogecoin car.
Nice.
And having a pretty solid race. Had a pretty good qualifying attempt, and already up 4 positions, up into the 5th position. So as we get ready here, it looks like the lights should be coming off on the pace car this time by. We'll be re-racking, restacking, and getting ready to refire here at USA International Speedway. And our leader, Brian Nudie, decides to take the bottom line again, leaving Bobby Mays on the outside, Kyle Mays on the inside, and Zachary Cox in that 4th position. And we already saw Brian Nudie get a couple good jumps here early in the two starts that we had so far, so we'll have to see if he continues the trend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Isaiah Gill claiming he's the short track king, and Nudie looking like he's saying otherwise right now, though.
Yeah, and Isaiah Gill already taken left side tires on lap number 3, so we'll see how those tires fare out for him as the run goes on. But pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Brian Needed leaves him back to the restart zone. Goes a lot later this time than he did last time, but still gets a great jump as Bobby Mays falls in behind. Kyle Mays right behind him. And Zach Cox on the high side, hanging it out there, trying to get around Kyle Mays. Here comes Nick Ford to the inside.
And Brandon Richardson in the hunt now underneath Zachary Cox. He takes a look. Nothing doing there, but Chaput now poking his nose up underneath Richardson as well. So they're starting to single file out here, Josh.
Yeah, great battle back here. We see the 74 of Merle Jr. on the outside of the 94, Dylan Dunford. Jr. making that high side work here at USA Speedway. Normally you don't see the high side work here too well, but he's getting it done out there.
Isaiah also on the move already up to 10th place, and we've seen him pit during the last caution. So making his charge up towards the front.
Dylan Dunford's been strong all season. He clears now Chaput as he starts to hunt down that 29 machine of Brandon Richardson. Dunford down 5 positions since the start of the race, but little loose off there.
And Isaiah Gill trying to get his way back up to the front here. Almost gets into the back of Dunford there, but able to hold on to it. The front, your front 6 right now are all single file as Isaiah Gill's looking to the inside. Not able to make it work. Oh, we got one around. Zachary Cox goes around right in front of the leaders.
Merle Jr. piles in. The 18 as well caught up, but Jr., I think, the one with the most damage from that, Josh.
Yeah, we saw the 29 involved as well. Sylvan Seguin getting through that, and that's going to bring up our 3rd wreckage rewind of the night. Let's see if we
I
can
think Brandon Richardson was separate off there, Josh, ahead of them, just coming off corner exit. So we'll see what happened.
see here if we can try to figure out where this started. Yeah, it started with Zachary Cox up at the front. Let's bring this back for you and see what happened. Oh,
I have a little help there.
yeah, it's hard to keep the car going straight when the back wheels are off the ground. 51 gets spun around. Here comes the 94 of Dylan Dunford. Just nowheres to go. Runs into the back of the 29.
Brandon White down on the apron, but man, Junior just nowhere to go.
Junior and Pro Volt. Looks like the front clip falling off that 74 machine. And then another one comes piling in. That is the 18 of Tony Richardson. Again, underneath the 51 there.
A lot of carnage there, gentlemen. Some playoff drivers banged up. Junior definitely going to have to take his fasty. Looks like he already did.
Mark Shaver's on pit road. Looks like he's going to beat the pace car out just barely. He's got a fresh car. Dylan says Atlee made it through just like the wreckage rewind.
He did. He jumped outside there. It was pretty nuts. You got the trading paints up to date?
I should.
Yeah.
It updated when I came in.
No worries. I'm just seeing a little different than you are. I don't know if it's something different.
As we're working lap number 21, excuse me, coming across the line for lap 22. Brian Nudie leading every lap from the start. As long as this isn't like the Rebels race last night, we should be good. As Joe, I know you missed it last night.
I heard it was a long one.
We had, between the two races, we had 33 cautions. So it was a long night for me. I almost lost my voice about halfway through.
Well, you can rest your voice a little bit tonight. I got your help.
So as I had the doubleheader last night. I got the doubleheader tomorrow night, so should be fun.
Did you say that Gil took left sides?
Gil took left
It's
sides
very
on lap
bizarre.
3, yes.
A very bizarre event.
Okay.
I mean,
It's weird because I have his stint. When I look at stint lengths, he's on 22 laps.
you came in late.
Oh, 10-4. That makes sense.
Well, lights on the pace car are off. We're going to re-rack, restack, and refire here tonight.
And that Bobby Mays on the outside, watch him here, Josh. He's getting a little bit more hip to what Brian Nudie's doing. Let's see if he can stick with him a little better here on this restart.
Yeah, Brian Nudie went a lot later on that second start. Let's see what Nudie has in store for him here as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Coming back to the restart zone. Nudie waits real late now. Green flag in the air. A little wheel spin from Nudie there, but he gets it going, and we're back underway. Isaiah Gill up on the outside, getting around the 94 of Dylan Dunford. And now he's setting his sights on Kyle Mays, again, making that outside lane work. And here comes Brandon White here in the mix as well after starting from the pits, missing the start of the race. He's already driven himself up into the 6th position as he's looking to the outside of Isaiah Gill. Oh, Isaiah taking a peek there down to the inside. Now he's going to get there. Oh, and he gets loose. I don't know if he got turned right there or got on the round, but
I don't think there was any contact there, Josh. I think he was just trying to drive it hard to make the pass and couldn't hang on to it. Good job by him not taking much damage at all there on the inside either. I think he kept it off the wall.
That was a quick caution too. He I guess it was in front of other cars, but man, that was quick by iRacing.
for sure. We're going to take a look at this one from the blimp here. See if there was a little bit of contact between him and the 19 as you see he's looking down underneath the 55. Actually catches the apron. Pulls an old Josh Hall there, catches the apron, and just loses it down on the bottom all by himself. And what looks reminiscent to Isaiah Gill doing a restart, he just catches the apron and spins it around on the front stretch by himself. Yes, I went there. It's been a while since I made an Isaiah Gill restart comment, so
I like it.
I had to get mine. I had to get one in. So Brian Nudie still leading, and yeah, looking forward to the playoff race tomorrow. I was talking to Dave earlier about the Cup Series tomorrow at Talladega, and how much Steve Black loves the new Cup package, especially at Talladega, and we're looking forward to seeing his dominance and seeing how much he enjoys running tomorrow night.
Yeah, and this is a crazy round of 8, man. The short track starting it off is really going to shake things up, I think, in the ARCA series for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how this race progresses. So far, it's been all Mr. Nudie. Isaiah, we've seen with a couple different charges. Most of them have ended in either getting caught up in a wreck or caught up just behind one. So,
Well, it looks like Isaiah Gill's goal tonight is to pass as many cars as he can. And he's accomplishing that very well so far by having to go through drive through the pack twice tonight. I had some big movers tonight. We got the 94 machine of Dylan Dunford up 11 positions from his start, as well as the 95 of Michael Provolt. A little bit of damage to that machine. You see the hood pushed up on that. But he's up 11 spots as well, running in 8th. So 2 cars in the top 10, up over 11 spots here from the start.
Yeah, Nick Ford 15 up to P3. Pretty nutty.
Yep.
Ryan Nudie better watch out. Nick Ford's coming for him.
So it looks like Brian... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Brandon White doing well as well, Josh. Not normal to see him up front, but these short tracks gets him some good finishes. He's up P5.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier. Brandon White won his Legend Car feature this past weekend, rocking that Intensity Broadcasting sticker. So I made the comment those stickers were worth a good 15 horsepower on those cars. So he's getting it done in real life as well. It's nice to see the iOS drivers getting some real life racing as well.
and that 15 is a conservative estimate, Josh. We've seen 20 to 25 out of some of those guys that put the sticker on as well. So it really ranges.
So the lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get ready to refire here at USA Speedway with Brian Nudie taking that inside lane again. Bobby Mays back on the outside. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn. And Nudie going to bring him back to the restart. He goes early this time. Bobby Mays caught sleeping a little bit as Nick Ford already looking to the inside of Bobby Mays, trying to take that second position away as Nick slides it through turns 1 and 2 here. He's got the position. He's got it hooked right down on that yellow line.
He's being super cautious, Josh, holding it down through the straightaway. He's got to open that wheel up, get a little bit of a run down the straightaway here.
And as they're battling side by side, that's what Brian Nudie wants to see. Is he is just running away from the field right now as those two battle for position. Nick Ford, slide job around Bobby Mays. That allows Brandon White to take advantage of that, move him up into the second position. And now Nick Ford has got to battle back to try to get that second position back again. On the outside here, Michael Provolt. Oh, big checkup off the corner. Michael Provolt making some moves on the outside here. As he's to the outside of Dylan Dunford now, and Derek Chaput looking to his inside.
3 straight rolls of side-by-side racing there too, Josh. Really getting after it right now.
And while those guys are battling side by side, we see Atliat Weiss starting to make his way up into this battle as well, as he's up to the back bumper of Zachary Cox. Running a smart race so far, not really getting up in the mix and trying to be conservative, and it's working out for him right now. As I'm sure we'll see a couple more cautions as these tires start to wear down.
And Nudie just extending the lead out over a second now over Brandon White. So loving the racing that's going on behind him and trying to set sail out in front of everybody.
Yeah, and the only drive that's really able to keep pace with Nudie right now is the 019 of Brandon White. Last time by, Nudie ran a 66, Brandon ran a 70. As these guys are still battling so hard side by side, Bobby Mays making that outside lane work tonight. And now we see Atman seeing that outside lane coming to life, and he takes a peek out there as they get single file now, and Atlee looking to the inside of Michael Provolt. Just not quite there yet to make that move. Here comes Isaiah Gill back through the field as well. He's already up into the 11th position. And a little further back, we see Brian Merrill Jr., one of our playoff drivers, running a real conservative race after getting caught up in that one early. As Derek Chaput and Zachary Cox are battling it out right now for the 5th position, or 6th position, excuse me. Oh, Zachary Cox really parks it there in the corner. That allows Chaput to get a good run on the outside, but they're still side by side.
Yeah, and Chaput, Josh, one of the playoff drivers we haven't really talked about tonight, but a pretty consistent driver all season long. And as you see him right now, running up in the 6th position and having a very good run so far. So let's see if he can keep that clean through the remainder of this race, as we're about 10 short of halfway right now.
Yeah, a little further back, we see Brandon Richardson also working that high lane, working around Atlee here as Isaiah Gill locks him up, getting into the corner here. He's to the inside of Provolt. Provolt has that front fender just kind of flapping in the wind there. Oh, he's a little loose there into the corner. I don't know if that damage is starting to hurt that 95 machine. So Isaiah Gill up into the 9th position as he's coming up on Derek Chaput and Bobby Mays battling side by side. And I think Chaput might have wore his stuff out being out there on that high lane. Oh, we got Brandon White around on the front stretch. No caution. He's going to reset here, and that's going to pretty much end his day as we take a look at Dylan Dunford and Kyle Mays and Nick Ford here battling for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And really unfortunate for Brandon White, because he had cut that lead down from Nudie down to only 6/10 of a second. So that's, like I said, really unfortunate. But we had seen a lot of that in practice, Josh, getting loose off of the corner. I believe that's what happened to him.
Now let's take a quick look, rewind here, see what happened to Brandon White as he was coming off turn number 4. Yeah, just jumps into the gas a little early, loses it by himself, catches that grass, and it was all over from there.
Yeah.
But back up front, Nick Ford continues this set pace here in the 2nd position, trying to run Nudie down. And last time by, Nick Ford was actually a 10th faster than Brian Nudie. So he's starting to eat into that lead just a little bit.
What do you say about that, Joe? Nick Ford a 10th faster.
I'm telling you, watch out for Nick Ford. I said he was coming for Brian Nudie. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Maybe Nudie's doing a little saving here, though, Dave.
Oh. There we go. Now I got the right graphic I want up. Or not. Oh, Nick Ford having a little connection issue now. It doesn't look like it's hurting his lap times too much.
Junior peeking up into the top 10 as well. We had seen him earlier get involved in one of those accidents, had to use the fast repair. Looked to be having a conservative run, but it seems he saved some tires and is starting to make his way up through the field as he passes Provolt for 9th.
And that time by, Isaiah Gill, fastest car on track for the last 2 laps. He's got nobody in front of him as he's chasing down Dylan Dunford now. He's faster than both Nudie and Nick Ford as well. So watch out for him as these laps tick off.
Right at halfway here too, gentlemen, so we'll see the pit strategies start to come into play. I don't know that anybody will go green flag, although this has been a long run. You gotta think that there's going to be a caution coming up here in the next chunk of laps, so we'll see what the drivers decide to do.
Oh, we got a nice long green flag run. Actually, we got a battle going on here as Kyle Mays was just looking to the inside of Nick Ford, and Mays starting to turn the heat on that 20 machine now. Take a look down to the inside. And I think they see Isaiah Gill coming right now, so they're try to put a little bit of pressure on each other to get themselves moving forward.
Yeah, Nudie out to a 3-second lead. Really loving the battles going on in his rear view, and able to put some length between him and the rest of the field.
As we take a look off the nose of Isaiah Gill here, taking a look to the inside here of Dylan Dunford. And Isaiah Gill is going to get around Dunford here, trying to get around him on the high side, trying to get that done.
Still trying to get that done, Josh. This is a battle.
Yeah, and normally, like I said, you don't see that high lane working here at USA Speedway as they're coming up on the lap car of Sylvain Seguin. Sylvain's going to stay high out of the way and let these guys continue their battle on, and Isaiah's going to clear the 94, and he's going to set his sights on Kyle Mays. Oh, big move, aggressive move down to the bottom for Isaiah Gill, and
Plants it down there.
Yeah.
Makes the pass.
Looked like he was going to slide it up a little bit, and now he's going to start trying to run down the 20 of Nick Ford.
I don't see it being a big task. He's been about 3/10 faster the last 3 or 4 laps, Josh. And as you can see, he's already there. He's going to make easy work, short work of Nick Ford here. As he looks inside of Ford. Ford shuts the door on him into one. Gill powering through the middle of the corner is going to come off too. Underneath of him, he's going to clear him in through 3 and 4, I think, here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to easily clear him through turns 3 and 4. Now allows Dunford to get down below the 20 of Nick Ford as well. And
We'll see what Gill can do with that 4-second gap to Brian Nudie. See if he can eat into that.
yeah, Nick Ford really showing a lot of maturity, a lot of patience here. Not what we've seen of him in the past. He's running a very, very good, nice, smooth race tonight. As he's got Zachary Cox to his inside. And I think he's just going to kind of ride behind Zachary here. And now Isaiah Gill with a 4-second lead, or excuse me, at 4 seconds he's got to cut down to catch Brian Nudie. They're coming on the lap car of Atlee Weiss. And I would imagine that pit stops are going to be coming up pretty soon. Michael Provolt going around Derek Chaput, take over the 12th spot. And up front, Brian Nudie coming off of turn number 2. And it sounds like Brian Nudie is starting to save a little bit. Just sounded like he was shutting the car off in the corner there, or so right along with Nudie here, and let's just hear how late he's getting back onto the gas here. Nudie really, really saving fuel here. Sounds like he's trying to save as much as he can here and try to stretch this green flag run as much as he can.
Yeah, he's definitely getting it off it, Josh. Let's see if we can switch that cockpit view, see if we can see that fuel gauge, where we're at. Looks about halfway. A little under halfway. I think that's the fuel gauge on the far right bottom there.
The fuel pressure down there, yeah. So I think we're, looks like his fuel pressure is fine right now. So we'll see how long he's able to stretch it here. As Isaiah Gill starting to cut in that lead already. He's down, already took a 1/4 of a second off that lead. Bobby Mays all over the back bumper of Nick Ford and trying to get around him, but well, we've got the field kind of spread out right now. I think this would be a really good time. Boys, how about we pump up the intensity? Man, you gotta love the sound of that horsepower around this short little USA International Speedway.
Yeah, Josh, and as we break from that pump up the intensity, Isaiah has cut that lead down to roughly 2.5 seconds now to Brian Nudi, so seems to be breaking into that gap a little bit here as we roll into almost 3/4 of the race in the rear view.
Yeah, and I'm sure that right now Isaiah is pushing as hard as he can, and Brian Nudi's saving a bit as he can. Let's take a look at the last lap by. And last time by, Brian Nudi ran a 22:43. Isaiah ran a 22:34. And Dylan Dunford ran a 22:46. So Isaiah clearly the fastest car on track right now as of those who have not gone in and pit yet.
Do you think it's just those 3-lap fresher left side tires, Jeff?
It must be those left side tires.
Oh, as I say that, he almost loses it coming out of 2.
So Brian Nudi still trying to gap and put as many cars between him and Isaiah Gill as he can, but you can already see that Isaiah Gill is in the picture and slowly catching the 40 machine. As we're coming to almost 25 laps to go, next time by, we'll have 25 to go. Is it going to be enough time for Isaiah to chase down Nudi? And do these guys have enough gas to make it to the end? That's going to be the question. Right in front of the leader, we got a battle right here. This is Mark Shavers and Michael Lawrence. These guys are battling for position right now for 12th and 13th as the leader's right there. And you'll see Shavers get way out of line to let the leader by. We'll see if Provolt is as cordial. Which looks like he's going to let Nudi by as well. Then those two will go back to battling for position. That's a little battle back here. Kyle Mays is starting to eat the gap up back to Dylan Dunford. Trying to break into that podium position up into the top 3.
Yeah, and I think Isaiah is just really waiting on a caution here. He is breaking into that gap slowly but surely. Should have it down to mere tenths by the time we get towards the end of the race and should catch him. But I think that he really is looking for a caution here to shorten that gap a lot quicker.
Another car that's actually pretty quick on the track right now, the 74. Brian Merle Jr. catching Bobby Mays here. Jr. looking to have a good run here in the playoffs after getting caught up in an early wreck. And now he's trying to crack his way up into the top 5. And don't look now, but that lead, Isaiah Gill, is under 2 seconds. Oh, Isaiah almost pushes up into the side of Cheeseburger there. That would have been disastrous.
Yeah, the lap traffic definitely going to play a card here as we move through the final quarter of the race, Josh, as we have only about 10 cars on the lead lap and Provolt close to getting lapped here shortly. So
I see Michael Provolt still with that damage on that right front there. And I'm surprised that car is handling. Oh, he's real loose there. Right in front of the leader.
And Provolt, a playoff driver, he's not going to give that spot up like some of these other drivers we've seen move aside for Nudie. He does not want to go a lap down, still hoping to get a chance at winning this race, obviously.
And just in front of Provolt, we see Atman Weiss. He did go in pit. So he's on fresher tires, and he's actually the fastest car out on the track right now. So Brian Nudie coming up on lap traffic, but that yellow and black number 2 getting closer and closer to that rear view mirror of the 40 machine. Now, if the yellow was to come out, do you think Nudie has an advantage by having all 4 fresh tires in the pits, where Isaiah Gill only has 2?
I don't know that the 2 makes that much of a difference. I do think it's going to be interesting on what the call is, depending on how late and if there is a caution, obviously, right? And they will all go off of pretty much what Nudie does, although we've seen Isaiah, as even mentioned earlier in the race, with a diabolical left side change 3 laps in, can be unconventional, so we'll see.
And Joe, you have the experience of running iRacing for a long time. What do you think of a two tire call over a 4 tire call here?
Man, it depends on how fast you can get on and off pit road. I might even just go splash only and go. That'll get you enough to get you to the end, right? I mean, there's no reason for tires. I wouldn't even do 2 tires.
As across the line here for 15 laps to go. Isaiah Gill within a second now of Brian Nudie, and he's closing quick as he's got Michael Provolt right between them. Will Provolt move over to the side and let Gill by? It looks like he will give Gill that inside lane. And it looks like Gill is able to roll the center a little bit better than Nudie is right now.
Yeah, we'll see if Nudie saved anything for him or if it's just been Gill gaining ground.
Yeah, because when we look, you can see Brian Nudie up about 3 to 4 feet off that yellow line, where Isaiah Gill is still able to hug that yellow line and make that car turn down there. So as we're coming to 12 laps to go, and the gap is now 0.8. Oh, Isaiah really loose off the corner there. Able to gather it up and continue to make up time on Brian Nudie.
This is going to get interesting, especially on fuel, especially if Isaiah took fuel as well with the left tires, which I'd imagine he did. That gives him, you said he let pit on lap 3, so he's got at least 3 laps more fuel than Brian.
Yeah, he did that, Joe, and then came around and topped off again.
Yeah, so
on the next pace lap, so he definitely has more fuel.
Yeah, lap 5 was the last when he came off of pit road, so he's got just a little bit more in the tank than Brian Nudie does.
I don't know if fuel's going to be a factor, but we'll see.
Well, we just saw the 18 of Richardson hit pit road.
So did Atlee.
Atlee hit pit road earlier, so
Mark Shavers as well, a little bit earlier as that.
yeah, the 18 is currently on pit road as, man, that lead is down to 0.5. Now, it's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to get by him. And I wonder if Isaiah would use the chrome horn to get around Nudie here.
Yeah, I don't know if we're that in need of it yet this late in the playoffs. A 1-2 finish, I think, is good for both of these guys, right? So we'll see. Obviously, both competitors in their own right, and they both want to win this race.
So off the corner here, across the stripe, we have 8 more rotations around this track. Can Isaiah Gill run him down with the lead just under a half a second now?
Yeah, Josh, I'd say he's there, man. He's getting to him. This is going to be an exciting finish.
And again, you can see the 2 different lines that these drivers are able to run. We can see Isaiah Gill. We'll take a look from the blimp here. We see Isaiah Gill able to get right down on that yellow line. Brian Nudie not able to keep it locked down there. And, yeah, Isaiah's there. I mean, he's right there off that back bumper. And I think the only thing that, right now for Brian Nudie, a caution flag could be either the best thing that happens to him or the worst thing that happens to him.
It's going to be the worst thing. I mean, Nudie, he set his bed, right? Like, if he's going to make it to the end here, he's going to make it to the end here. Well, Isaiah's there. He's just got to fend off Isaiah. If if there's a caution, Nudie might be out of luck. He might have to hit pit road, and Gill may not have to.
Yeah, but hot tires, Isaiah Gill having a restart on the outside, and Brian Nudie being able to choose the restart spot. I think that might be a little bit of a blessing if we had some kind of green-white checker, as we got 4 laps to go here.
Yeah, the speculation is over. Gill's going to make it to the end. Can Nudie? That's the question.
And can Nudie hold off this hard-charging number 2?
I think he can, but not for long.
We got some lap traffic here, too. So we'll see how that comes into play. 3 to go.
Sylvan stays high for him. Gill's going to follow Nudie below.
Gill's going to throw it in there.
I thought he was.
Yeah, it looked like it.
I was going to say it when you said it.
Yep.
But Nudie had the better line. Being able to swing it out.
Cross the stripe. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go here at USA International Speedway. Does Isaiah Gill have enough here to get around Brian Nudie, or can Nudie fend him off? As Isaiah Gill is right in the tire tracks of the 40 of Brian Nudie as they come off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Is Isaiah Gill going to make a desperation move here to try to get around?
Will he Ian Martin him? I don't know if he will. Isaiah's too nice of a driver.
Brian Nudie's out of gas. Nudie's out of gas. Nudie out of gas. Isaiah Gill through turns 3 and 4. Isaiah Gill is going to win.
This is absolutely nuts, Josh, for the round of 8.
Half a lap short, and Nudie's going to make it in second. He beat Nick Ford by like 3 car lengths.
And
wow.
Nick Ford actually was not third place.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Mays coming home in third place as Nick Ford had to go in and pit. But your winner tonight, the 2 of Isaiah Gill. What an incredible finish here on Intensity Broadcasting.
Absolute heartbreak for Brian Nudie.
Half a lap short. Gill had to have known. He was pressing them.
Joe, this man led every lap of the race.
Except for the last one.
For the last half.
So Isaiah Gill burning it down on the front stretch, right in front of Victory Lane here at USA International Speedway. And let's take a look at the final results here. As we mentioned, Isaiah Gill, your winner. Brian Nudie, the heartbreak, coming home in second. Kyle Mays, third. Zach Cox coming home fourth. And Dylan Dunford with a great recovery coming home in fifth. Brian Merrill Jr. in sixth, having another great recovery, getting back up there into the 6th position. Bobby Mays, 7th. Nick Ford, Michael Lawrence, Derek Chaput round out your top 10. Atlee Atman Weiss in 11th. Mark Shavers, 12th. Brandon Provolt comes home in 13th. with Brandon Richardson, Sylvan Seguin, Tony Richardson, Brandon White, and Brett Merle rounding out the rest of the field. But your winner tonight, the man of the hour, is Isaiah Gill. Now let's see if we can talk with our top 3 finishers here. Maybe. If I can get back, if I can get into the right channel. I don't see Kyle Mays in the server just yet. But man, what a heartbreak for Brian Nudie there.
Let's talk to Brian. Let's pull Brian in here, Josh, and have a little chit chat with him about that. We're gonna have a good little talk with him about it. So,
Brian, you got Josh, Joe, and Dave in the booth. You got us?
I gotcha.
Yeah, well, looks like Isaiah got you as well, as you led 99 and a half laps here at USA International Speedway. Did you know you were that close on fuel? Did you really think you were going to run out, or did you think you were going to be able to stretch it to the end?
I actually didn't even realize how close I was until about 20 or 30 laps ago, when I think Nick Ford brought it up in our little Discord chat. And then I was like, oh, I better look. And then I was like, oh, it's pretty close. So then I started trying to save fuel. And then Isaiah really started gaining on me. And then once he kind of got within a second, I was like, all right, I got to go now. And I knew it was going to be close. Man, running out of gas coming out of turn 2. That's happened to me, I think, 2 or 3 times this year while leading the race.
yeah, tough break, Brian. 90, like Josh said, 99 and a half laps. Little fuel strategy slip up ends up with you just barely missing it. Man, it's got to burn a little bit more letting Isaiah pass you for that win too.
I think if anybody else would have won, I would have been fine with it. But the fact that it was him really, really, really bugs me.
Yeah, Bri, it's hella unfortunate. Really a dominating race from you, but at the same time, you still were able to put it across in second. Kyle didn't catch you, so those second place points, it doesn't really put you out of the championship run. You're right there in the thick of it, obviously. What do you think your chances are as we roll through the last 2?
I like my chances. I was just worried about getting out of this race. We got 2 mile-and-a-halfs after this, so I feel like I got a pretty good shot.
Well, Nudie, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give tonight?
Oh, as always, I got to give a shout out to my beautiful wife for letting me do this. I got to give a shout out to Isaiah and Gil's, everybody over at Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizza. We're the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest. Also got to give a shout out to Marco's Pizza. They're on the East Coast, but their pizza is just as good. And then also got to give a shout out to Kyle Mays. He had an awesome run. Colin Willems, he does this for peanuts with our race control. He does an awesome job. Just want to give a shout out to you guys up in the booth. Sharon, she's at home. She's feeling better now. Everything is good. She still is kind of eating her poop, but other than that, she's been doing pretty good.
Hopefully it's honey roasted peanuts you give Willems.
Well, he just likes the planters salted.
Awesome, man.
Extra salt.
Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish. Just come up a little bit short, and I'm sure as the week goes on, we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
So that's your second place finisher, Brian Nudie. Saw Colin Williams in the room below. It kind of messed me up there. Let's bring in our third place finisher, Kyle Mays. Kyle, you got Josh, Joe, and Dave in the booth. You got us?
Gotcha.
Man, coming down to the end there, you saw Brian Nudie running out of gas, and you must have been licking your lips trying to get into that second place there. How did the race go for you overall, and were you expecting that long green flag run at the end?
No, I wasn't expecting that long green flag, but I just kept looking at my fuel and just trying to get off the gas a little sooner and get on it a little later just to save all I could. I was saving during cautions when we had those cautions because I knew if it was to go green, then I needed everything I could have.
Yeah, Kyle. So you stretched it out and you come away with that third place finish. It's a podium. It's gonna lock yourself in, right? Are you still in the playoffs? I'm not sure. I didn't get to see the playoffs for this one.
Yeah, I'm still in them. We got one more race to go, then the final 4 go ahead. So I'm just trying to put together some consistent finishes to advance to Charlotte. I think it's the last race.
Yeah, that is the last race, Kyle. And speaking of consistent finishes, I think tonight was one of those kind of a ho-hum run for you for the most part. Was really just following Bobby for a lot of the race.
in third or fourth there. And then, as you said, saving fuel on the cautions to help you get a podium run. What's your thoughts on the championship here? You're obviously right in the thick of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the two to beat's going to be Isaiah and Nudie. I mean, that's the two to beat. Dunford, he's right there with me, and Dad. I mean, Murrell. I mean, it's close. It's going to be tight.
For sure. Well, as we move on to Kentucky next week, we'll see how you fare there. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give tonight?
Just you guys for doing this broadcasting. Y'all do a really good job at this.
I
Well,
appreciate
this was one of the better ones, so you should go back and watch it. It was a pretty good call.
Yeah, a lot of good green flag laps.
Well, we appreciate it, Kyle, and we'll talk to you again soon.
See y'all.
So that was my nemesis, Kyle Mays. No, I'm just playing around. Me and Kyle have straightened things up since then. But let's pull in our winner tonight, Isaiah Gill. Isaiah, you got Josh, Dave, and Joe in the booth. You got us?
Got it.
Man, congratulations on the win. Only leading a half a lap, but it was the half a lap that mattered. And it looks like those left side tires that you took on lap number 3 really paid off for you down at the end. Was that the strategy that worked for you, topping off there early and taking those left side tires?
So no, I'll actually tell you my strategy I had. So I had no sound during qualifying and I couldn't hear nothing. So that's why I was in third gear in qualifying and I looped it. So every caution during the race, I went in and tried to fix my sound settings and it kept taking fuel and left side tires on accident. So that was my strategy.
Yes, that was awesome. So, well, the strategy worked because you had enough fuel to make it to the end for that long green flag run, and Nudie runs out of gas. Did you think he was just pulling over for you, or did you know he ran out of gas?
No, I knew he ran out of gas because when I came out of the corner with 2 laps to go, I was at 0.5 gallons. So I pit 3 laps before him, so I knew he would not make it. So I just let him run out of fuel and wave at him when I go by.
Isaiah, outside of the early pit stop in the left sides, you got caught up in a self spin earlier there on the apron, and took an EOL, and then came charging back as you were already doing when you did the self spin. I think you were up into the top 10, so you probably passed 30 cars tonight, and luckily got that win on the fuel mileage run. That put you in the pits from the start. Obviously, when you think back and talking about third gear in your sound, that's really the reason that you were in the back, to set your strategy for this whole race that gives you the fuel to make it to the final and crown you as your self-proclaimed short track king. What's your thoughts as we roll through the next 2 races in the championship here? You're obviously locked in for Charlotte.
So next week I probably won't show up because it'll be real race weekend. So I don't know if I'll, have the energy to hop on the sim. But yeah, I like to thank everybody for my strategy because I heard the broadcast. I think it was a whack strategy, but I liked it.
Well, we know how much you love to pit when you shouldn't be pitting. So that's kind of what me and Dave.
Play the Washington State Lottery tonight too before you go to bed.
Oh yeah, I've already bought 2. I scratched them before the race though.
And it looks like you had enough money to buy the track tonight, so that was good.
Actually, it was donated from Brian Canuti. He gave me his and he bought mine.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations with the win. Before we let you go, any shout outs you got to give? Anyone you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Brian Canuti for my win. For running out of field. Man, he's a great pitch strategy guy. And I'd like to thank Mary again. And once again, I'd like to thank Canuti for running out of field.
Well, I do know before the race started, Colin Willem said in the chat that the 40 car was called to the trailer for inspection. So do you think the fact that he had a bigger motor there caused him to burn more fuel?
Oh, no, actually, we figured out it was a spoiler.
Oh, perfect.
It was too tall.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Man, so what a wild finish tonight here at USA Speedway in the iOS ARCA Pro Series. And
I'm over here crying right now.
me too, man. Anytime we have an interview with those two, it's tough to keep a straight face. We have a lot of fun with those guys. I'm glad they can have a lot of fun as well. And Joe, I know you missed the beginning of the race, but what a wild and great race all the way
Hey,
through.
man. Yeah, the parts of it that I got to see were amazing. I think going into next week, the mile and a half at what you said, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, we're at
So
Kentucky next week.
Going to Kentucky next week. I'm not worried about Nudie or Gil maybe, or even maybe even Kyle Mays at this point. But that last spot to lock yourself into that championship, if somebody outside of those top three win this next race, man, that could really ruin some dreams for some of those other guys in those last couple positions. So it'll be an interesting race. We'll see how it turns out. But man, a mile and a half, those things are fun too.
For
That's
sure.
a good point, Joe. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh. I think that Cheeseburger or not Cheeseburger Junior, Dylan Dumford and Bobby will all have chances at the mile and a half too, and obviously will be on tilt, so to speak, because they're going to have to win or come in the top three to have a chance to get in there. And as tonight, Josh, Joe, I think it was an excellent run. We had some cautions early on some of that short track runs from those guys just getting under hot tires and getting themselves underneath them coming out of corner exit, but then really, really long green flag run. I want to say we went, Josh, 70, 80 laps of green flag run to end the race. So that was excellent.
Yeah, for sure. And a great race overall. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just so used to announcing races by myself. So I'm not used to having not just one, but two people here in the booth with me tonight. But it was great having the three announcers tonight. Made a lot of fun. Got to see three different perspectives, which I liked. And yeah, great race tonight overall here in Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well, Intensity Broad 1. Don't forget to download the e-racing TV app. Don't know what that is? That's a free app that you can get for your Fire Stick or your Roku, and you can watch live iRacing 7 nights a week on your big screen, on your Roku or your Fire Stick. It's a free download, so check that out as well. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the SESRA Dirt Late Models for the start of the doubleheader, and then the iOS Cup Series, where you'll see these two knuckleheads take on Talladega tomorrow night in their favorite package, the new draft package at Talladega. I was waiting for some kind of response out of either one of you.
Man, yeah.
Can't wait.
I can't wait to follow everybody around for 50 laps or whatever.
Well, don't forget to join us tomorrow night for those two races. My name's Josh Hall. I've been joined tonight by Joe Wright and Dave Wright. And anything else you guys want to add before we go?
No, sir. It was a great race. iOS ARCA Pro. I think it's the better series of all of them right now, so it's fun to watch.
For
Yeah,
sure.
very fun racing tonight, and the championship continues next week. And when we roll into Kentucky, only 2 races left, so.
And to continue the playoffs all week long with the iOS Cup Series, the iOS Truck Series, as well as the Pelican Snowball, which isn't broadcast here, but I know the three of us do run that. And Friday night, the original Rebels Xfinity Series. It's the final race at Phoenix to crown a championship, so tune in for that one as well, as we got a
I might just jump in the booth with you for that one, John.
Well, you'll be jumping in the booth with Zachary Wetstein, as I'll be on track racing that one, but that will be a good
I'll
one.
jump in with Zach.
Yeah, we got a battle going on between Patrick Drabick, Garrett Kinder, Logan Sturgeon, and I believe it's Jeff Paisley as well. So a 4-way battle to crown a championship on Friday night. That'll be a good one to check out as well. But as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over